Now, you will lay a desire. Then I'd wear that power. Via Yatuya, Bizage, I say, oh, me, Amurai, and Badoyo, I'm a market of my trade, well, on it was away. Alazaibo, that Gianna, we say you. Papa Mora, get me up with anywhere, Momba Sibole. Sibole. L'arrangeur parmi national, très trop fort. We are glad that we want by this, so where that you are. I want Saibo. There, do a web that you go back for Monyo. Papa Yankita, Petit, brother Fassoni. Kaidaga. Bena Paya Posa Bobo, Mambo Panjago. Apoblo Akaway. One Posa Yokaway. We are for them one the upper clay you can. Nyan Yossi one. What's the cat to your way at Pinyon? Emma. Nesetoka. With this one poke, where they have it. Go on, ya, Nakana salute. What's to a cat to your way at Pinyon? Emma. Nesetoka. Now, with this one poke, where they have it. Go on, ya, can you get? Now, conquering your way, and your sound, Fabian. Let's watch it. We just grab it to work on. Are you a are you an owl? Saibo, that Gianna, we say you over. I want to your Clamana, I need a boy. And yes, I'm going to buy them with Mwege. Hey, Imo, the Magay, one of what I just be on and it the boy. Oh, ow. Saibo, that Gianna, we say you will. So like it, I'm going to never go. Netoni and Layo. Hey, and you? Opo Quick, say, oh, yeah, I'm a walking ever. Kaidaka, when it was to a Jacob, let you know your way. I just know. This is what I say. Saibo, yeah, you like right name on by one name on tele by Potamu, Tanyada. Planning Papa, Pinagasia, Bacao Lage, the Puesipo, the PSCB. The Tonya Sito, you can up one, there's a bomb, was a dressio, Mambo, Palipo, that Giano, and I will say you over. I will. Saibo. Iba tu abla jabla edu eso say. Aje kwana le ya gba tu ana agbonyo si yi oke. Wejo, Ibo. Saibo boba. Eje ide ke po panglo ku ejo bi panglo. On the client ya gbok like e ba de de noa. Jojo wa se. You're not really time, let me slay. Saibo, that Giano, and I will say you over. I'm done it. Where are you? So up away. I know Brazil, they pay a gospel. South Africa, your fault, your way. Thank you for your work, and my one. I'm the Pope and Yaguba. Don't feel it, I say, oh, Clavodio. Say, back in what we are coming. Saibo, that Giano, and I will say you over. Our people should look in this room. Quamus, the man get daughter, Siko Bala. Pabo, I say, they post a look. Say, I say, oh, my, you know, get one day, yeah. Your family, your same of lady now. I reward, I say, oh, my, I'm a morada. Saibo, that Giano, and I will say you. I wish a rule of you, my, so you Saibo, 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 that young man now will take you there. Pop madame le maire, read on your man, don't you? But you know I say, it's a mayo. That was the Yasu also won't when you. I'm original, I say.
Oui, il a fait une chanson à Mobile Production, voilà. Et Mobile Production, c'est une structure qui est créée pour les jeunes qui sont dans le démon, pour les jeunes de l'US tout. Mobile Production est là pour produire les jeunes talentueux, cachés, que les gens ignorent. Donc notre devoir, c'est de produire des talents cachés. Alors, il a fait un son pour Mobile Production.
Arrangé Eric Lodé, le don de Dieu pour la musique de l'Ouest. Je te détesterai jamais. Jamais, jamais, au grand jamais. Mobile Production, Abia Dia Oboa, Amunyandro, moi to Pierre. Moye, Pierre, moye, Pierre, moye, Ato Pierre qui a volé, Pierre, moye, ah, Pierre, oui. Ndato Pierre se prononcer, Ato Pierre qui a volé, ma cosse, moye, Pierre, moye, Bossa bossa ikoen, moye, Pierre qui m'a volé, mangoye mo, ah, Pierre qui m'a volé, mangoye mo, eh, Pierre, bébé, ah, qui a volé, Pierre, moye, Pierre, moye, Pierre qui a volé, la poche qui a volé, soy non du niemble, mon blé amando, let's appeler, j'ai mon équipe à yonner, mon vadia qui va yonner, j'ai blé bonnet na kanyopo, si à vous tienne, des kanyoue. Canyon de Coga, c'est pas du Péa. Pierre, moye, Pierre, moye, Pierre, moye, Mogarwa, Oyawesa, moye, Jibla, no pigeon boba, Yeruno, ma boye, Pierre, Pierre, moye, mon blé production. Au Pierre, mon blé production. Assez au clan, Yahweh a quel amour le côté. Pierre, moye, Pierre, moye, Ericona, Pierre, moye, ah, Charlie Cona, Pierre, moye, ah, Pierre, moye. Ah, yeah, Pierre, moye, Erico Jato Pierre, Mare Bomu Jato Pierre, Erico de Bomu Jato Pierre, Miomo Daka, Yojalico, Yopa, Opa, Yede Nani, Blake Rakiten, Yao, Anade Bro Ajabe Atia. Qui a boudi, on a un qui a doublé. Souvent, sommes soblés, soit d'agnon. Passez blé à Seigneur d'Ayeta, Essa, Yedibo Sanide. Et to Pierre Diaweke, de Pierre Point son weke. De Pierre, il va mon pas. Kayano et Cassé la taille mon la Oceane. De Pierre, qui a payé Papa Co. Ah, de Pierre, moye. Moye, Yaro momoye, ese Sonia Routier, aseo. Mama Sableye, Angela Wene, et Bobo Panglavriye, Angela Wene, Nama Bobo Panglavriye, Angela Wene, Angela Dio, Machaba Keyo, Daria Dio. Moye, Angelo Momoye, oh, Mama Bokembla, Chia, Mama Kembla, where you. Je sais ma Jackie, je Mama, je sais Tania Kyoto. Handa Nicolas, Memotia, Mada Nicolas, Tania, Nicolas Breto Yamo, Ojuachi, Naipo de Wenge, Black on la Gili Agia, Agia, Moye, Yaro Moye, 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 Yaro Moye, Moye, Ale, Moye. wa o loyon tutu pote wa o onu loyon duwa poko we de mo ona se bore la tuwa so we nu ni wera wera nyoma ko ma si mu e ma ko ri ma tutu la ne ma yon we monje de la yon ba o mo su na yo monje dia ma yon ba na mo wa uluwo monje che ada yon ba na mo su na yo wera juru wa o ya lui ki pote wa o wera nyoma jagbo mu e lui ki pote wa o atati pote wa o ora nyoma kwa we de mo ona te gbore la tu wa so we nu ni wera nígbà so e so go ta mu fe o ti ke fe ma de so wi gelo bébé Kari les asko du soir le bandi la fino ase idawe ma de odi yala Stéphanie c'est de l'école d'Ivoire moi ouais mo ba ko we de nwe ona te bo le la tu wa so we lu ni we la to ta bi la ni gba so en lo yan so ta mu pe o ya mo le pote wa o peri du so pote wa o ni mo ta bi e ba mu ni pe ya bu so go iba ini mo ko we de nwe o wa ko ye nyamu o ko we de nwe salu wa ko ye nyamu o je lo yan ju we ba ka Nigeria oda je nyon gbe mo no Nigeria oda we akon ye nyamu mo mo ko we de nwe so we wa akon ye nyamu o
lo abel ke ono Jose ke wa no lo yan dai Yesu et Sablo Delfino de Kela le metan un pot dai mo du wa mo popo ya bi de Rosette ne Oko we dan mo obian le nyamu oko we dan mo obian le nyamu Amandei Roseline Amandei Loki o ne se ko we nyo ne se ko we nyo Amandei Geneviève I don't think you ne se ko we nyo ne se ko we nyo
Good evening, folks. Sam Sinto, LIBERIA Public Radio. I want to thank you again this evening for joining us on LIBERIA Public Radio. It's going to be a rough one here, but we're going to deal with it. That's the former representative, the late Elif Lawrence, who is also a good friend of mine. So he, it's a celebration of his life. So we're not gonna mourn or we'll celebrate. So we'll be talking about it here tonight. I want to welcome all of you. First, safety, safety, safety. Please, whatever you do, whatever you do, remember it's going to be rainy. And summer's coming up, the rain's going to be coming. Make sure you have windshield wiper blade. It's very important. Change it so that when you're driving, so in case you get powder splattered all over your windshield by another passing vehicle, you'll be able to wipe it out easily. Make sure your lights, the lights themselves, you don't necessarily have to change the bulb, but look at the lights, headlights. Sometimes you got mud on it and stuff like that. Clean it up so you'll be able to see ahead of yourself. Safety, safety is very important, very important. Yesterday, I'm going to be showing it here. They have since 1950, I believe it was 52, they have had on Caltrain Highway, California Department of Transportation Highway, they have had over 180 something member of the Caltrain community have been killed, either by someone else's fault or on the highway working, something happened, but there have been a lot of deaths. So we had some sort of a memorial stuff yesterday where they show us a lot of safety stuff. Folks, if you're driving on a highway, not even a highway, you're driving, you get somewhere, you see these people working. They don't have any kinds of metal to protect them. They are not working out of a cage. The only thing they have most of the time is K-rail. And K-rail is about 4 feet high, okay, 2 feet wide, okay. It's made out of concrete, that's for sure, but it's not sufficient to protect people from a real damage, okay. And most of the time, you find these people that try to do the pothole, they don't have K-rail. They wait until your car passes and they take the shovel and put it in there and somebody come and pound it. If you reach people where they say people are here working, please slow down. Slow down because you can kill somebody. The main attention is on the shovel to fix the road that you're going to be using. So if its attention's on the shovel, of course it has spotters. They got people that are watching. But sometimes people miss these things. We're all human beings. When you're driving, you see work zone, not necessarily just for the police, but just for your own self and for the safeties of those that are working. Please slow down. I saw some a picture of a car yesterday. Like I said, I'm going to do a whole show here about that. Okay, where the guy came and ran into a two-wheeler. The two-wheeler is the one when you're driving and you see the truck, the worker truck ahead, and you see the yellow stuff behind, like a foam, but it's not. It's made out of metal, and it can be damaged as well. Okay, so please, if you driving and see, especially this coming summer, if you see some people working in the street, they're not there to play. They don't have cages to protect them. They expect you as a driver to use your common sense. Slow down. Slow down, folks. This is Samson Tola Brompa. Let's go talk. Say safety tonight. It's very important. Very important. Okay, so welcome on Library Pub Radio. As usual, we will go ahead and have ourselves with Dr. Weir, of course, as usual. Like I said, this is the life to celebrate the life of Mr. Lawrence, who was also a very good and a dear friend of mine, the late Lawrence. And I will show you some picture here tonight of the funeral, and they were very painful for some of us. But we're making it through. We'll pray to God. We'll make it. Okay? So, please, stay tuned. Oh, the guy he doesn't waste time. Fake show. And Remo, he said this is fake show. Of course it is. It's a fake show. Why are you watching fake thing? Thank you, my brother. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We're fake show, but we'll do our best to improve from fakes to reality. So stay with us. Anyway, folks, thank you again for joining us. This is Dr. Weir, the president of Liberia. who is currently doing, as far as I'm concerned, a wonderful job in the country. So please let us all show respect to those who we consider our leaders. Okay, one other video I'm going to be showing you right now is the video of Dr. Weah when he was during the election, when he walked in the mud. So let's watch that and see. Okay. Samson told Labrampa Radio, who is doing his best this afternoon. Okay, so please stay with us. Let's watch Dr. Weah video and then I'll come up. It's a very interesting show tonight. If you miss it, perhaps you will miss something, but we'll ask you to stay with us. Let's watch Dr. Weah in the mud.
Let's make sure you do that same thing for you so you can hold. Yeah, we won't hold the stick. I don't need show the road, you must stay. We're going to junior that before. No, I beg you. Let's make sure you do that same thing for you so you can hold.
Okay, that's the video I want to show you. Let me show you another video. This one here is video to make us jealous. To be honest with you, I'm playing this video so that we can be jealous and try to improve the lives of our brothers and sisters and do something better in our country. This is a video of Ghana, Accra, Ghana, where they have a system to identify where the traffic congestion going to be happening, where accidents have just happened, where the police need to pay their attention to in terms of crime and what have you. We can do the same thing. We're no different from anybody. So let's play this.
Afrikiko Junction, Accra, Tema Motorway. Apollo in the Western region. The police is watching you. Over 1,000 of these cameras have been installed at strategic locations across the country. These cameras have made police surveillance more effective and giving a boost to fighting crime. Playbacks have also been very useful. In this particular case, investigation into a road accident.
Good morning, police emergency. How may I assist you?
These cameras are operated from emergency command centers in Accra, Kumasi, and Tamale that are now receiving a record number of calls.
When the call comes in, the system automatically generates a case form.
The case form is meant to solicit the essential information required from the caller. If it is a motor accident, are there any persons injured? If it is a robbery, are the robbers armed? And so on. All calls can be traced to where they are made. In case a call drops, the operator can call back. Once a call is processed, the information is sent to the dispatch section for patrol teams in the field. One challenge are prank calls that divert attention from real emergencies.
Prank calls must stop. In a genuine emergency, you may not be able to access our emergency command center.
Locating crime scenes promptly is another. Many houses and dwellings in Ghana are located on unnamed streets. This is being addressed by the new GPS address system, which is an integral part of the new emergency response system.
This command center is a milestone along the way of the transformational agenda that the Ghana Police Service has launched. The Ghana Police Service, as I speak to you, is about total number strength of 33,000. For the population of Ghana, the minimum strength should have been 56,000. At 33,000, the police to civilian ratio is 1:848, which is far lower than the UN minimum of 1:500. Therefore, the result to the digital intervention is meant to ameliorate or to mitigate the defect or deficiency or the deficit, which stands at 23,000 police personnel. This intervention, which is going to make it easier for the police to monitor crime and make it easier for people in need to get in touch, therefore making it more efficient for them to check crime, it's a welcome intervention.
There you have it. That's Ghana, folks. The Ghanaians are moving ahead. We're there. We're there. We're not going to give up either. We're not going to give up very easily because this is what we have to do. We can't continue to have our people. The traffic congestion in Monrovia is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it's not like we cannot find traffic engineers here in the United States. Don't tell me that, because I think we can. And I know we have some very good people, traffic engineer, that will be able to do some wonderful, wonderful job here in the U.S. That's for sure. Okay, so we can, and we have people that will. Let's just say we have traffic engineers that will work for the public to make sure things are done correctly. And traffic engineers are people who are responsible to relieve the traffic congestion in the country. So we have that. We have that. It's not much. It's not much that to it. Well, let me not say it's not much. It's just a lot of calculation involved and stuff like that. But if you know what you're doing, then it's not much. Okay. So we can do that. We can do the same thing. So I thought that I played these two video tonight. But now I want to turn my attention to one of the pressing issues here for me tonight, and that is the issue and the burial and the funeral with Elif Lawrence, Representative Elif Lawrence. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and talk about it because as a friend he's a very good friend of mine. One of the things, just from his death, have really surprised me, to be honest with you, because I know who Equate is. I know him well, okay? I know him. But from his death, to know where he's coming from when we were here in Sacramento, and even when I went home, and to see the kinds of love that is being poured in for Equate. He's a very lovely person. Don't get me wrong. Very nice. I mean, his kids, his brothers, everybody. I mean, very nice guy. But the point here is for people to talk about his leadership ability. Not that I've not seen that, but I didn't think he was going to go public with that kinds of leadership ability that I have also noticed when we were here together. Okay, but what I just want to talk about something here. And this is kind of a little bit, I'm not going to say disappointing because I'm not God. and I don't make people to do things. So I'm not going to be disappointed in what people do. I'll be disappointed in what I do because I think I have control. I have no control what people do. So for me to be disappointed in people behavior, then that's not a correct word. What I can say is that frustration, because that I have level, I can allow myself to be frustrated over certain things. So I will use the word frustration. Yesterday we were all watching and we read how the CDC and Liberty Party was scuffling over the body. Folks, in life, especially things like death, it's not unique to an individual. It's every one of us gonna go through that. But one of the things that I noticed since I've been little, even into town, what death would do to a community, to a family, and to even a nation is that death's supposed to bring people together. Because through death, when people are grieving, you can easily capture their way of doing things. Even if you wrong them, you can apologize to them and things will be settled. They have a saying back home. I don't know because I'm from the countryside. I'm a country boy, so maybe I'm not too sure about the civilized people. But for me, if somebody died and issues that are affecting certain individual or family members and it's not resolved during the feast or whatever, it is very difficult to be resolved because some people will take it to heart to say, once my person died, you didn't do this, we didn't do that. Now the person is no longer alive. Do I care to talk to you now? For me also, and then you can question my own leadership ability because I have none, but I can read. I think in this type of situation, it doesn't matter how old you are. Even if you're older, it really doesn't matter. In this type of situation, that's when you come through as a leader of a nation. I'm speaking about Dr. Weir now. And so, like I said, I'm not disappointed. I'm frustrated because that I have control over. But I'm not going to be disappointed the fact that certain people didn't do X, Y, and Z. That's them. I got no control over that. But what I do have control over is my level of frustration. I can allow myself to be frustrated over certain things, and I can allow myself not to be frustrated over certain things. As you know, and I will say again tonight, I'm a member, card-carrying member of Liberty Party. I supported the candidacies of Councillor Bronsky from day one. I've never wavered. Never waver, because I believe in his leadership. However, every time when the 3 times that he was involved, every time the election is over, I tend to pivot to whatever the person in charge is doing to move Liberia forward. We preach peace. So when this election was over, I decided within myself, even though I'm not a seditious and I never supported CDC, okay, however, the country, my brothers and sisters of Liberia have decided they wanted CDC to lead. Who am I to question their wisdom? It's an election. It wasn't selection. If it was selection, I would say maybe somebody selected that because of X, Y, but it was an election where people were allowed to express their feeling freely. And they decided to choose Dr. Weir and his people to lead us. So despite my feeling this, not quite happy with it, however, I should be mature enough to say election is over. I will support this government. I will criticize when it's necessary. I will praise when it's necessary. So those of you that have been following my show for quite a while now, you know I've referred to this young man as Dr. Weir. And in fact, when I go places now here in my own community, people refer to me as Dr. Weir because this is the thing that, oh, say, every time you open your mouth, that Dr. Weir. It's not like I want something from these people, but first of all, my people, Liberian people, those people that we all profess to say we're fighting for them, they have decided, and I must support their decision. 6 years later, if they decided, no, we don't want it, I will support that as well. However, in time like this, we must be able to stand up and say, this is not right. I will tell you one story before I move on to the next thing here. Like I told you before, Ella Lauren Ekwe is my friend. So when I left from here last year, early part of last year, I went to Liberia. I was there for 2 months. Our mutual friend, Victor Smith, asked me to come to Liberia and help with his engineering firm, specifically the young engineers, and show them, teach them for 1 month, 2 months, teach them how to do road design. And so I was there for 2 months, having daily classes on how road design is about, what are some of the principles involved, what are some of the the specification, what are some of the application in geometry design and things like that. How does your design, how does it guide, what practices guide the design? And I went into Ashton and everything else. So I was there for 2 months. After that, I also showed them how the connection between survey and road design. And we went through the care process and everything else. So my little engineering knowledge that I have, I was able to impact onto the little young engineers. So while I was there, the first week when I got there, immediately the next day, quick, Sansinto in town. Sansinto from town, he says, never. It's a way of us greeting each other. So I said, my man, I hear. He said, yeah, I heard. They say you are coming. But anyway, I will see you. I said, okay. So when we're going to see, he said, we'll see today. I said, I can't make it. I'm busy with classes. Almost a week later, he said, they think too much. They're going to keep you in that basement called a classroom. You can't even move around. I want to see you. So I decided, okay, tomorrow I will come and meet you. Where do you want to meet? He said, come to the Capitol building. So I drove to the Capitol building. When I got there, he came downstairs because I was on the phone with him as I was getting closer to the building. So he said, just stay there. So he came downstairs, got in my car. We went to this one, I don't know the area, so please forgive me. But it's a full place. It's on the beach. When you go into as soon as you pass City Hall, you make a right, and maybe about 500-600 feet after City Hall, a driveway, you make a right, and then you drive towards the beach area. So we went there. He took his chair, gave me the chair, said, what do you want to eat? I said, anything. He went and ordered for the fish with rice, costing $25. And I said, why they kind of think, why would I want to eat fish and rice for $25? Man? What kind of business is this? He said, you better eat. I said, okay. So while we were eating, in about 5 minutes into our conversation, some of the things that we needed to talk about, we started talking about politics a little bit, the personal issue a little bit here and there. And while we were there were 4 gentlemen that I recognized from the Capitol building. They also work with. One was representative who is from my own district, Shasha Grant. Another one, Kofa Flanty. And Flanty behaved like he didn't even know who Samson Toll was. So when I introduced myself, Flanty, I'm going to introduce myself to you again. He said, my man. I said, okay, Flanty, forget it. My name is Samson Toll. Oh, I know you. I said, okay, Chief, forget it. Because Flanty, we all were Liberty Party members running around in the plane. Then you're going to say, you don't know me? So, anyway, then another person came in, was another guy that I've forgotten his name. But then the interesting thing happened. The Representative Gray, uh, Akara's Gray, came in. When he came in, Ada has, because I don't drink, so Ada bought himself a Heineken, and the other gentleman that was eating with us, he joined us about 2 minutes into eating. Ada bought him a stout. So when Gray came in, he grabbed Ada's Heineken and grabbed the man's stout and poured both of them in the glass. God is my wasting. I'm not trying to talk bad about him. I'm just saying what is happening. So Ada ordered him a stout and ordered himself another Heineken that he didn't finish. And then at the same as we were done eating, the group of the representatives started coming. Apparently, they must have a meeting scheduled at that time. So he said, "My man, let me go to the meeting. I will see you later. Give me a call." I said, "Okay." Call me so maybe we can go. We can go over the weekend. Maybe we'll go to Bassa to my wife. I said, "Okay, I'll give you a call." I got in my car. You know, you get out of the restaurant, you walk a little bit, and then the parking right there under the tree. Those of you that know Monrovia, perhaps you know this area. So he introduced, at that moment, he introduced Akara Grace to me. And Akara Grace said, "Oh, Papi, my man, you ill friend?" Papi to them. Yeah, I don't care. "Papi, you ill friend? My man, you our friend?" Oh, I said, "Thank you, my man." Okay, why do I bring this up? I read today that Gray was not going to attend. I mean, in fact, according to uh, Front Page Africa, okay, according to Front Page Africa, that the Gray, this is the kinds of stuff that was written that really had me want to speak on this. The speaker, Representative Gray and Fala, boycotted the Ilov funerals. You're going to boycott a funeral, a death, when people were crying. I will show you some video here. You could see in the woman's face the pain, the pain. This is not place for politics. This is human suffering. This is not place for politics. But what do we do as brothers and sisters? Should we say, God forbid, if the attack comes, we ourselves going to boycott? No, that's not right. Because you do not determine when you're going to die. It's God that gives you that right to live, and it's God that gives you the right to die. So when it's your time to die, those who are surviving, family, friends, and whoever, they should pay respect. And the reason you pay respect, not necessarily to say you're afraid, but because you are God's child. But for the whole world to read this, the speaker, Representative Gray and Fala boycott. This is not soccer game. This is not football match. We come on here every night and try to toot your horn. Not necessarily you don't do wrong or anything, or I can't turn against some of the things that are happening. But what good would it do for me if I cannot preach peace for our brothers and sisters to see reason to come together and work together? If we can't preach peace, then what good is it for us to come out here and let's talk about who's doing this and who's doing that? That's just not the way it's supposed to be. As I stated here, I'm not disappointed. I'm frustrated because I think by now our brothers and sisters should see reason why they should be able to come together to work. I called Monrovia and talked to a few friends trying to ascertain exactly what has transpired. And according to the story, and I'm not going to go deep into it here, sedition have gone to the Capitol building and their leadership was seated. And the group, according to the story, the group were not able to enter. So I believe they said representative, I don't even know his, senator came in with his other group, and so they're gonna deny him to go as well. So there was other people that were saying that the body belonged to CDC because he's a sedition and what have you. And there was other people from Liberty Party who said when the man died, those of us that are on social media, this is something that we've been reading. I'm not too sure who put these things out. I'm not too sure under what condition. I'm not too sure as to whether they were sanctioned by the CDC leadership for their membership to put those things out. I'm not even too sure those that were writing these nasty things about my friend and brother were even members of CDC. That's not even the point. But there are other folks, that's what I keep saying to all of us, that our level of understanding is not the same. There are those who be damned that these kinds of writing that was happening at the time were done with the approval of the leadership of CDC. I don't know from where they got that information, but for me, I don't think so. I don't know. So I never dwell on that. However, like I said, Ella is a friend. So those of I'm in a social media business. I go on Facebook every day. So some time ago, the CDC chairman, there's two videos. I can't find the other one. I was able to get my hand on one, and I will play for you here very shortly. The chairman of CDC, Maluba Malu, went on public forum when they were supposed to, certain team was they were supposed to welcome the president coming from somewhere, and he made a statement that Ada had made himself. He said he's not the one that's saying it, but Ada had made, according to him, personal not grata to the CDC people over in District 15, and so they will appoint somebody. So when he said that, I didn't pay close attention. I just copied it and kept it. There was another video where he stated that Ada Lauren will have to be primary because he's not doing things that are in the interest of CDC. So I called. I said, "What's going on?" He said, "My man, like politics, Samson. I'm not doing anything bad to anybody. This is our country. If something is wrong, if I want to point it out, I will point it out. So if people feel that I say something that is not right or whatever, they want to talk to me, they will talk. They want to primary me or whatever they think they want to do, that's fine." So I said, "Yeah, but I hope it's not going to turn to any kind of big." They said, "No, so don't worry, Samson. My man, you got nothing to do, eh? You're coming to call me at time of day and tell the kind of thing. Ask something to front to." I knew once he started, whenever I talk to Ada and he bring that stuff, he want the subject matter to go away. So I left it. I never bothered him again. I never talked to him again. But before the election, he and I talked, and I was very concerned because I was reading and I was hearing that the challenger for him was somebody that was strong. So he told me everything, his supporters, and what he have done. So he strongly believe. He said, "I'm going to win, Samson. Look, watch and see." Before that, also, he and I, because he was here when he left for here, but so he and I talked, and he told me exactly how he came about getting to be representative and everything else. So, and that can show today from the funeral, from the comment these people are making, that he's well grounded. He didn't just come to this thing because you want money. Okay, so if CDC feel that he's a sedition and therefore they want to pay their last respect, which is fine. You don't have to be a CDC member for you to go and pay last respect to Ada Lauren. But people were concerned of how things were going. Okay, let me play this video of Maluba Malu telling us why he thinks Ada Lauren perhaps have not done good for CDC. Okay, I'm going to find the other video, and I hope I'm not playing these things here for confusion. No, I'm playing it because I'm sure this was on KMTV. I'm sure most people watch it, but it's been such a long time that these things are coming to play now. People are not paying attention. They probably don't remember. And I'm showing you these things that perhaps some of these things have the cause and effect. When you deal with people, think about tomorrow. You never know what's going to happen. Let me play this. Samson told LeBron Public. Let's listen to the chairman, CDC.
We are here to talk about the arrival of the country giant. We have appointed for District 15. Because for Edom Lauren, as far as we are concerned, he has declared himself, and not me declaring him. He has declared himself personal non-grata in that district for CDC. So, because when you decide to fight the party in everything that we do in that place, it means you have no interest in being grateful for what partisans in that district did for you. You would have never come even faith. I have not been seditions in District 15. So we're not going to dignify you further. We are here to talk about the arrival of the country giant. We have appointed for District 15.
There you have it. It's just a very short one, but listen to that. We are not here to dignify you. This is a representative who is supposed to be a member of CDC, and if he's doing something, perhaps he's going against CDC will. The CDC leadership should have been able to contact him and have a conversation to see what's going on. And if he cannot give you a decent reason, then perhaps he can come out to say this. But after I heard it, I have a conversation. And he told me nobody have even talked to me. And I'm not too sure exactly what they say. They want me to be quiet if something is happening. The Speaker Chamberlain came up. And he said the mayor will not even allow people to express themselves or even bring something on the floor. How then do we do our work? That was the question he asked. So there right now, if people like Monroe say we're not gonna dignify you. Sedition was listening. They heard that. I'm not going to connect whatever during the time when he died, whatever that was written. I'm not going to try to connect it and say because Molu said this, that's why people are writing that. That's not the point. That's not what I'm saying either. But I'm just showing you some of the things. There's another video. I'm going to try my best to find it. Well, Molu stated that he's going to send people to primary Lawrence, which is their right. Nobody questioning that. But if you have all of these things that are happening, you have these things happening in the country, why are these people having these kinds of conversation? Why is Ella Laurie and the rest of the people are not somehow doing things according to CDC rule or whatever they have? Why? Those are the kinds of questions we're supposed to ask. And most important of all, today's funeral, Dr. Weah wasn't there. See, for me, this is the time people show leadership. Like I said, I'm not disappointed. I'm frustrated. Because here I am. Every night that I come up, I'm not even sure if my own talking would change anything. Nothing. That's not even my point. But when I come on here, most of the time, I'm not here to praise Dr. Weah, but if he does something good, I will say so. And I will continue to do that despite my frustration. Okay? Because whatever it is that he's trying to do, I believe he's doing it on behalf of Liberians. So I will do what I can to promote that as well. But if I see something that is not quite right, I will say so as well. One of the cases is today. I thought Dr. Weah should have been there to show leadership. Because the representative and the senator that perhaps they said started the problem yesterday. If Dr. Weah had gone there, Akara Grace, Honorable Akara Grace probably would have been there. The speaker would have been there. I'm not too sure what the circumstances is that for which Dr. Weah wasn't there. So perhaps it's a legitimate reason he has for not being there. But as a father of a nation, the father, Dr. Weah is not president of CDC. For other people from CDC to say you can't criticize him, he's not the father for CDC alone. He's father for the nation. So CDC have to understand that. If you have plenty children, there will be some that will not do your will at all times. That doesn't mean you should castigate them. That doesn't mean you should cut the family line. Dr. Weah is father of the nation. Nation that have what, 4 point something or 3 point something million. So out of that population, you expect everybody to fall in line and praise and sing the praising of Dr. Weah? It's not going to happen. There will be people who will criticize genuinely and legitimately criticize. And there will be those critics that will criticize because they want the job Dr. Weah has. So I'm not worried about that. But this is the time that perhaps Dr. Weah, if whatever reason it is, if nothing tragic or nothing serious or nothing security minded stuff to happen, Dr. Weah should have been there today. Or whatever time they had that. And let people see, let the camera show. Now, there's nothing secret about Elon Harry being one of the critics of Dr. Weah. He does this with respect, though, different. But now, why would the opposition not use this to say it's only there for the people of CDC alone? So once again, this is something that I think as a leader, I believe as a leader, you should be able to open your arms for everybody. And those who will push you away, let them do so at their own will. But you can't be the leader for a specific group. Then you're giving rise to these kinds of divisive incidents. This is not right. This is not right. Despite it's whatever you want to call the opposition, he's still a subject of Dr. Weah. All of us, he's our leader, Dr. Weah is. And that making the father of the land. And we have to understand that. We must understand that. Because he's the leader of Liberia. If we respect come by. But in this type of situation, this is when the leadership should be shown. And I will show you the funeral video. It goes about, I think, about 15 minutes or so. So please stay with me. The video came out of KMTV. One of the things that happened here, the older brother, who we all consider older brother, Kwasi, when he was leaving to go to Liberia, one of the conversations he and I had, he was concerned as to how he's going to be able to have this thing broadcast live. So I told him KMTV in Liberia is doing a wonderful job. I'm sure nobody have already contacted them, but if you get there, if it hasn't done that, if the people have not contacted them, contact KMTV and they'll be able to do that. So I'm not too sure what the arrangement was, but KMTV have done it again. I don't know what the arrangement was, but KMTV, I want to thank you very much. I want to thank you. And we'll ask God to bless you, to give you more wisdom to continue to do these things that you continue to do for our people. You brought out the Supreme Court issue live. You brought out the inaugural program live. I mean, most of the important things that Liberians in the diaspora care for, you're always there, KMTV. And we want to thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. So now, folks, let me go ahead and play the video. It's a brief video. I might not even do all of it. But what I want you to pay attention to is this. If you, whenever the lady comes on, see the pain in that lady's face. See the pain on that lady's face. And this is something. Here's another thing. Dr. Weir served with this woman in the Senate. So he is quite familiar with her. So for us to go through this and your presence is not there. Of course, he sent representative. But guess who were there? The Chief Justice. He spoke. And I've had that specific statement. It's unbelievable. And that's why I say it surprised me. Surprised me. For people to talk about that, about him. I know he have that character within him. But I thought he was just reserved for me alone. But to have that and have the Chief Justice to enumerate that publicly, I thought that was very interesting. So let's go now. Let me show you the video from the funeral, but I want you to pay close attention to the lady as she it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And hopefully she will be joining us here in the Sacramento area very shortly, and then we will do our best, put our arms around her and continue to pray with her, and that only God can heal her. No amount of money can heal that. No amount of family member, whatever. We can only show support and make sure she knows that we're here still. Let's watch the video.
On behalf of the President of the Republic of Liberia, who has all members of the executive branch of the group set. On behalf of the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Dr. George Hammond Weir, and the executive branch of government, we made this floral design on the casket bearing the mortal remains of our dear brother, the Honorable Ida Ikwe Lawrence. May his soul and the souls of all faithful departed rest in perfect peace. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the blessed Holy Spirit. We want to deposit this ring on the casket bearing the mortal remains of our colleagues, our children of our children on their minds, our very astute organ that has left behind so many work that will reference in a very long time on the mortal remains, on his mortal remains. May his soul and the souls of all faithful parties rest in perfect peace. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the blessed Holy Spirit. Thank you.
Wait, they have to come. Some people say my funeral died as a result of a hit-and-run accident. Some people say that his car was driven by a police officer. Some people carry the story to his body was deposited at the funeral mortuary by a police officer to be. We'd like to know who pronounced him dead, because if an accident occurred, the first place that we would take the victim.
Tribute
examine the person, and then if the person needed medical attention, they will be attended to. If they will be pronounced dead, it will be that medical institution, and not to the mortuary at first instance. So we wanted to know, we want to have the accident report and then have the death certificate to know the cause of death. So that we hope that when they come on Tuesday, they will bring those reports.
Finally, what do you expect from plenary on Tuesday?
Action will be dependent on the appearance of the two individuals, the police director and the justice minister, and what the presentation will be like. And then that way know the direction where plenary will go. So I cannot preempt. But Marvin Innes was a Liberian, and like any other person died in a car accident, allegedly car accident, and
The Liberian Senate mourns the death of Honorable Lawrence, husband of our colleague, Senator Nyonde County, Grand Bassa County, and a colleague, legislator from the House of Representatives. It is with very heavy heart we deliver this eulogy on behalf of the Liberian Senate. This moment is for the Senate experience as we distinguish the Lord friend fortitude to perform this sad task at this very sad gathering. It is a gathering we have never seen, especially at this time. This is a gathering that we shall never be unmindful of as long as life lasts. We join voices with the Honorable House of Representatives to bid farewell to our dear friend, our colleague, and eminent citizen of this land as he transitions to eternal life and travels back to our Maker. This is a very difficult period for all of us in the Liberian Senate. Exactly 42 days ago, the very protocol that we followed during the homegoing of the late Senator Geraldine Sharif is the very protocol we are following today. Just a few weeks after we buried our sister, Senator Geraldine Sharif, Honorable Edward Lawrence has left us without the slightest warning. Both the late Senator Sharif and Honorable Edward Lawrence have a common identity. Both of them are from Maryland County. some point, both of them attended Our Lady of Fatima High School. Both are Roman Catholics. Both represented Monserrato County as members of the legislature. And on their final journey, they found the same friend from Samuel Striker, River Davis, seeing very church on Broad Street for federal rights. After the American containment, what a very tragic coincidence death has brought us. Many who the world for sometimes forgot their soul. We are very happy that Adolf was a Christian or practicing Roman Catholic. He knew Christ as a Savior. So when death in the gruesome wound came to snatch him away, we heard him say in the eyes of faith that, yes, Lord, I saw this end before I began my journey in this world. Because Christ lives, we shall face tomorrow. Though time has stopped with him and the grave may hold him for a while, when time unfolds with the return of Christ, the grave will no longer hold him. We are paying this tribute today for an astute statesman whose abilities to let law living oversight and representation, who they have admiration and was led the Lord to the Christ and representing Lawrence, President of our Senate, so frequently that he was then sent by the Minister. Contributing immensely to the crafting of legislation and the review of many bills and other instruments on the mineral, mining, energy, and the environmental sector. Together with some senators, including in the House of Representatives, they have worked on the new legislative law, the Petroleum Exploration and Production Act, that resulted in the reform of the offshore sector. The Land Rights Act, the Act establishing the Land Authority, which resulted in the reform of the land sector. The Act establishing the Liberian Petroleum Regulatory Authority. The Act establishing the Liberian Electricity Regulatory Authority. The Water Commission Act, among others. It is the view of very painful death. The almighty death. Death, why are you so proud? As the English word down. Although some call you mighty, but you are not so. You pride yourself on being able to put men to sleep. But nothing alone can do that. Sleeping tablets and other substances can do as well. Oh, mighty death. Your blow is just for short sleep, and men will wake eternally. And death will be no more. Death, you yourself shall die one day. We will miss you, our dear friend and brother. Notwithstanding, we are happy that you are with us today. Very soon, much better. Very strong, but life for family. We are going to continue to do our things in unity. We are there. We realize that life is dead and unstable. Sometimes we are up, sometimes we are down. But all of them, we are blessed with their ability. Now,
Where he died, why, the cause of death, if it's true.
All right, folks, please pay attention to this. This is the how do you call it? Justice of the Supreme Court Justice, Chief Justice. Let's listen.
It is with heavy heart that I have come on behalf of the judicial branch of government to pay the tribute in memory of Legal Lawrence, an astute lawmaker of the 15 Montreal County. We express sincere condolences to his widow, to the young Lieutenant Lawrence and other family members, and the government and people of Liberia, especially the Speaker and members of the Honorable House of Representatives, studies of the legislature, who are in demand of never being at the benefit of the focus on the issue to the work of this. That is part of this. Not to be alone, to a bond, right? The woman of the time that smashes our home, smashes our family members, friends, and loved ones, will never come to terms with the spirit and reality of death. It's not estimated. Natural expectation that a person will be right will become old before he or she dies. Death will find a death especially agonizing in the suffering of mankind. Although God was still currently just 53 years, full of life, was a pillar of support and strength for his family. The pain of losing such a dear one at this age due to sudden death can be very unbearable. So some may even be tempted to ask God why he had to call Honorable Lawrence at this time, when he still had many years remaining in his earthly journey, when he still has so much love and affection to give to his family, and when there still remains so much to be accomplished for his district and his nation. But it is not our place to question our Maker when he summons us, for he knows when, he knows why, and he knows best. The passing of Honorable Lawrence is a great loss to us all. He was a zealous and resourceful person. Personally, he was like a younger brother to me. I met Adolf, as I affectionately call him, many years ago, when the both of us were employed by the Catholic Archdiocese of Monrovia. At that time, he was working with the Secretariat, the Catholic Secretariat, and I was a lawyer for the church, chairman of the board of directors of the Catholic Justice and Peace Commission. Besides, he and I were members of the same organization in the church, so we became close. Over the years, I came to know that he has an affable personality, always smiling, calm and respectful in his demeanor, but firm in his opinions and decisions. These are the enviable qualities he took along with him to the national legislature and made him quite outstanding. Honorable Lawrence was very committed to his job as the representative of District 15, Montserrat County, and he always wanted to carry development to that district. I recall that when the judiciary was in search of a suitable structure for a juvenile court, he was ready to donate a building in his district for that purpose. Fortunately, however, negotiations for funds from the central government to renovate the structure were stalled and finally not made available, so the project was not materialized. These are just a few of the good qualities of the man who has left us today. Such a man is very difficult to replace. With his passing, the nation has truly lost a dedicated public servant. We'll all miss him. We pray that St. Anthony of Padua will intercede for him so that this good man will be escorted by the angels to his rightful place in heaven. As a mark of our last respect from the judiciary to him for his invaluable services to our nation, we ask the Marshal of the Supreme Court to at this time deposit a wreath on the casket bearing his mortal remains.
Vice President of the Republic of Liberia and the President of the Liberian Senate will now pay a tribute.
Beloved brothers and sisters in Christ, Romans chapter 8, verse 35 says, "What then can separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation or distress, or persecution or famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword? No, but in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us and gave his life for us." In difficult times, as a Christian, and I know it of us, our strength, our hope, and our deliverance lies in our faith. And Christ has paid the ultimate sacrifice. And as we live today, let us be reminded that each of us will be called one by one. The face of Abraham, a Christian worker,
Go to where?
a
My
father
top
to me,
fish, I go back.
a brother to me, a friend, countless others, and a brother. You are a friend and a brother to me. Whenever I call him, you always answer and say, yes, this one, what can I say? You then proceed to listen to what I have to say, and then you will give me an advice exactly what I'm talking. Then they will see, then they will learn. You believe that what they are saying is exactly what it is. This is the actions, then you will know. There was one of mutual respect. Now that you speak on now, they are one of a kind. And in person, I call myself. When you first out for the causes to lead your life, he carried the struggles of not the people who represent them. But he carried the struggles of others as a badge or a reminder of the commitment and you must go. They don't refuse to let the opinions of others sway his commitment to duty as he saw it. He was a loyal friend and a nationalist. He was humble, yet unwavering in his defense of what he saw as truth. He was uncompromising when he gave up his life. Yes, gave up was indeed one of a kind. But permit me to remind us of what I believe he cared about most. He cared about our institutions of government. He cared about the Constitution and what it said. They don't care about the rule of law. He wanted development, progress, and wanted peace and unity. He understood more than many that in a nation such as ours, those institutions, those rules, those norms and procedures are what bind us together as Nigerians and what keeps us safe. We believe that those institutions and laws and rules gave the shape and meaning to our national destiny and the simple hopes of our people. They don't believe that dialogue is the essence of our unity, especially when we listen. We believe in open and honest community, but you always gave us a chance to air their views. We believe strongly that the independent simply pursue political expediency for public equality. That the very democracy we have to be effective. And that is why he never hesitated to disagree if he felt otherwise, in public and private spaces. And when his point was made, they don't end his argument. But he felt somehow that logic and understanding should always prevail. He was bold and audacious, and he was an independent thinker. As a result, he had many friends across the aisle. Surprisingly, he chose to become a founding member of the Independent Legislative Caucus, to the chagrin of many. But that was later. He understood and often said that what will make our country better is when we all rise to the level to believe that our citizenship is not based on tribal lines or what family we came from, but on the solid belief that each of us have been granted a special, unique opportunity to serve our God, our nation, and our families. And that we should leave positive legacies of unity and love so that posterity will judge us and our children. all will miss it. As we come to lay to rest, I have a question that has beset me since I heard about his passing. What is the lesson for us from so tragic a death? And as I ponder that question, I can hear the loud voice of Ada booming in my ears. Says to us, let Liberians continue to work together. We may disagree to agree, but let us never forget that in the end, as leaders of our nation in this dispensation, we must remember that we are really only servants of our people. So let us continue to serve. To officials of government, we have lost a worthy member. His passing allows us to see that each of us has only a limited lifespan. Let us make our time here count, for we will pay for it in the afterlife. To members of the bereaved family, I can only say to you, never mind. That may the grace of God sustain you. To my sister, your children, whose hearts are broken, broken hearts. I know that God is here. When you can rest in assurance that indeed Jacob is not dead. He has only gone ahead. He is awaiting you on the other side. Let his passing be your strength. For it is said, to live in the hearts of those who love is to never die. Rest in peace. My good, faithful son.
There you have it, folks. First of all, I want to thank KMTV for the wonderful, wonderful job they've done again. But this is what we do. Even if we're hurt, we still must be able to analyze some of these things, because this is what we're supposed to do, analyze. If you watch, that was very interesting. From the pro tem to the Chief Justice to the Vice President, they all were saying something that does not jive with this statement that I'm very ready to play. And I'm going to play in there because this is something, before you do these kinds of stuff, before you say these kinds of stuff, you must be able to know who this person is. Let's play it.
Because for Edom Lauren, as far as we are concerned, he has declared himself, and not me declaring him. He has declared himself personal non-grata in that district for CDC. So, because when you decide to fight the party in everything that we do in that place, it means you have no interest in being grateful for what partisans in that district did for you. You would have never come even faith. I ain't not been seditions in District 15. So we're not going to dignify you further. We are here to talk about the arrival of the country giant. We have appointed for District 15.
I thought I played that, so perhaps people would try to gauge the statement from the chairman and try to compare with the description from the Chief Justice, the Vice President, and even the President, the Senate head. Okay, does that seem to be somebody who is not grateful? So in other words, perhaps, and I'm just saying perhaps, the chairman doesn't even know who Irab is. As you heard the Chief Justice saying, he worked with Irab. But anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that. That's something that people will judge for themselves. But I thought I'd do this. So now we will now open a line. If you care to give us a call. Okay, if you care to give us a call, the line is open. Give me a call here and see what you think, and I'll be talking more about. Just give me a moment here. Just give me a moment, please. Okay, if you care to give me a call, give me a call. Okay, but anyway, you heard also when the vice president was speaking, she didn't say on behalf of the president. There was another gentleman who said on behalf of the president. So perhaps the president must have sent specific people to be speak for him, and maybe not the vice president. That's very interesting. Very interesting. And you heard the vice president. This is the man that the chairman of CDC consider not to be grateful that the vice president of the Republic of Liberia have described as being somebody who cares for the people, as being somebody who cares for the rule and law, as being somebody who cares for the Constitution. You heard the Chief Justice also stated that he's very respectful, but he's very firm in his belief. So with those kinds of character, with those kinds of description given by permanent Liberians about Ada Lauren, what do we make of the statement from the chairman? Perhaps it's politics. Perhaps it's politics. But these kinds of, you see, one of the things that I always talk about, first of all, and one of the things that I do when I go to give the community service, whatever you want to call it, when I rather talk to people, first of all, I want to know who my audience will be. So that if I'm speaking to somebody from Total, then I speak the book. But when I'm speaking with LU student, then I speak the Bayoko English. You know what I'm saying? But perhaps the chairman fails to realize who the audience were. If you're going to give us a description of Ada Lauren, that compared to the other description given to us this evening, then the two are not on the same level. So maybe it's politics. But I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to dwell on that. It's politics, that's fine. But what I would say, though, on a very serious note, like I said, I'm not disappointed. Because in order for me to be disappointed in somebody, I must have control of that person's behavior. Okay? So I'm not disappointed. I'm frustrated. Frustration in a sense that I come out here every night, try to say, folks, we have to work together. But at least I need somebody to meet me halfway. And these are kinds of times that perhaps even if the president is not going to be there, perhaps the vice president should have been the one to speak on behalf of the administration. But you have somebody else speaking on behalf of the administration. Or maybe they say, okay, well, the vice president is going to speak as president of the Senate. That's understandable. But not many Liberians will be able to differentiate from that of the kinds of things that you want to do. The vice president, if you're not going to be there, the vice president who is going to be president, perhaps should have been able to speak for the administration, for the executive. Okay, she's the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, second in command. So why do we have somebody else speaking on behalf, unless if it's personal? So these things are very interesting. And I don't want to jump the gun. But if these things continue to happen, then perhaps those who criticize Dr. Weir of not having the leadership ability, then maybe they have a leg to stand on. Because this is a time that you, as the leader of a country, stand for people to cry on your shoulder. Because you are father of the nation. And one of your sons is dead. A permanent son of your nation is dead. If you can't be there, make the vice president to be visible. So that her shoulder should be the one people use to cry on. You're not there, Mr. President. Somebody spoke for you on your behalf. And the vice president, I'm not too sure what she spoke for herself. What is happening in Liberia, folks? What is happening in Liberia? Are we having some sort of a dual government? The last time we heard there was some sort of a conflict or whatever you want to call it that was between the vice president and the president, and we heard later on that issue had been resolved. But this tonight does not indicate to me that issue had been resolved. For somebody to come and speak for the president, and then the vice president come and speak for herself, that means what's happening? No communication. This is interesting, and it doesn't bode well for us. To be honest with you. To be honest with you. The people are watching. International community also are watching. In the football world, people who play football, and I talk to them, I don't even know how to kick on. But one of the rumors that keep going around, like Dr. We have a tendency of keeping grudge. That if you do something, just like Madame Salif, if you do something to him, he will keep it. And perhaps he don't even want to be bothered with you. You can't be, my opinion, you can't be in this type of leadership and say Samson to say something to me, I'm not going to be bothered with him. I am your son as member of the community of the Liberian society, and you the father of the society. My goodness sake, you have 3 point something million or 4 million or something, and you expect all of them to sing praises for you. You don't do that. Those are things you find in the Eastern Bloc. And Dr. Weir does not have tendencies of dictatorship in him. I don't believe so. And I don't believe that he's asking for loyalty either. I don't believe so. But I'm a little bit frustrated to say that the man that I continue to say he has Liberians at heart. And in time like that, I did not see leadership from him tonight. And I'm frustrated about that. Because I truly believe Dr. Weir has been in leadership position long before coming to be president. Remember, he used to play football? What is a striking position? That's a leadership position. That's somebody who would think and lead the group, because the intent is to win. And so you count on Dr. Weir to provide a winning instrument, which is the goal. And he did that. So I'm sure he has the leadership ability. But I didn't see it tonight. And I'm frustrated, folks. I'm frustrated. I'm not disappointed, but I'm frustrated. Yeah, I am. Work here months, almost a month and a half on a roadway design. I'm done. I've sent my stuff. I sent the final document today. I'm done with that. No pay, free. Because why? I believe in Dr. Weir leadership. But I didn't see it tonight. So does it mean now, if God forbid any member from the CDC died, Dr. Weir is not going to be there? Folks, you can't do this. Liberia is for all of us. We cannot let politics to get involved in the way of our leadership ability to be displayed. Dr. Weir is popular. But with these kinds of stuff that are happening, okay, just take for example, folks, I'm not going to be here that long now. If I can get a call, that's fine. But anyway, take for example, just recently, I was out here. Recent as what? As far as Monday or so was concerned, I was out here praising Dr. Weir and Koluba for having a meeting. Koluba is very close to Lawrence, and you didn't show leadership. What is Koluba to make of your meeting with him? Should he think now that your meeting with him was genuine? or it was because, according to the story, you were pushed by the American government to meet with him? No. And I'm not saying Dr. Weah should, it must be, no. But you could have given the vice president to speak on your behalf. At least that would have given some of us a little hope that things are not going downhill. The economy is not helpful in Liberia. The tension in Liberia among you that are in leadership is not helpful either. Here comes this June 7th demonstration that people are talking about. And that's another thing that I will talk about. I'll just talk about that briefly. And here goes a writing yesterday that I was reading from Deputy Press Secretary of the President. Pretty much daring them to demonstrate. And which I've been preaching. As a government, these people must be protected. How do you protect these people? The question was. And my suggestion was, the government should be ahead of the educational process. Government should be ahead of educating, help the organizer to educate the public of what the government expects out of a good demonstration. Not a demonstration, you can say whatever it is not good. No, the government should be ahead to say, folks, we appreciate you coming to demonstrate. In fact, these are some of the things. You can't have confusion in this thing. If you come without clean heart, you will not succeed. You can lead, and here is the thing that's gonna get Dr. Weah. I'm not gonna pull punches at him, folks. I'm going all in now. This is Samson to LIBERIA. I'm gonna go all the way now. This is what I said. Things that are gonna give Dr. Weah a hard time if he doesn't try to pivot back to his position, who he is. If he let people to lead him and put him in a position that he's not comfortable with, and he will continue to make the unfolds error. One of them is tonight. Okay? Now, here's what I've said to this. You coming in, the international community, they have every one of them knew very well you don't have the leadership ability. You're popular. You've never led anything in as far as they're concerned. Those of us that know that you play football, we know you're a good leader. I'm not questioning that. But by doing these kinds of stuff, you give people, the critics, the legs to say, we told you so. Yes, the other thing here, the demonstration that coming up, if it turns deadly, you think your knee will not go bad? How many times you see two people fight in the mud and the other, even the one that you beat, or somebody beat you, you think all of y'all will be dirty. No clean person coming out of that mud. What part of it we don't understand? Dr. Weah should use this opportunity and get away from those who have put him in a bubble, my folks, and said, no. Demonstration is good. You stay in public and said, we would have preferred for you to walk straight to us and tell us what is it that we're doing that causing you to come out that you're going to demonstrate. However, it is your right under the Constitution, and it's our right as a government leaders to protect you and protect those that might not be involved. We have to protect the property. But how do we all come to that one conclusion so that this thing will be perfect and simple, so the international community will know that we're all ready and ready to lead? And this is what I suggest. The government should be ahead of this thing. Encourage the demonstration. But in the process, you tell those who are responsible, the leaders, the organizer, what you expect. You're not going to tell them say what to say. But what are some of the behaviors that the government would not tolerate? You can't have a demonstrator going from street to street, breaking people's houses. No. So how do those folks that are coming in to go through the process, how do they get educated? The government should be involved. Here's the other thing. The government have more apparatus at their disposal to be able to inform the citizenry more than the organizer. And I read to you here, day before yesterday, where Kaluba himself stated that he's willing to go from city to cities, county to county to inform the people. You, the government, the leaders themselves, you assign and a minister from information ministry, assign that person with Kaluba, walk foot by foot, not necessarily to spy on Kaluba, but to help Kaluba to disseminate the information freely and more effectively. In the process, the government is also taking control of the demonstration before they even start. And I bet you, this is what if you do. Those who have some sort of nefarious ideas, nefarious thing in the mind that, okay, I want to demonstrate because I want to detonate the government, I want people to blame this government, you will find out that they will resist you from the demonstrator side. They will tell you, no, we don't need your help. And you're going to ask, why is it that the government is offering help to help you educate the people and you're telling us you don't want? What do you have in mind? Do you have something else under your sleeves? Sooner or later, you will find out. And the smart people among those people that are organizing will say, why? Let the government help us. And those who are going to continue to say no, then the smart people will say, oh, but why did men say no for that? There's something else. They want are able. The government said they want to help us to educate the people so we can have a good demonstration and still have a demonstration that is peaceful. And you say no, I don't want to be part of it. That's how you isolate those who have ideas that perhaps they want to bring some conflict in the country. That's how you isolate them. Not necessarily calling them enemy of the state. How big is Liberia? But if you sit back and say, let them come, like the Deputy Press Minister was saying, well, even though it's their right to demonstrate, but anybody you go wrong with coming hard on those that are responsible. Is that right? Go ahead. Those even people who are responsible, they have relatives in that country. This is what people, the government, past government, continue to fail. And this is exactly what might happen here. Those people you're going to attack, those people you're going to go after, they got relatives. You think they just come from the sky? They were put on this earth by somebody, and they are connected by people. So you go, people get on the street, and anybody got hurt. You remember that young kid that got killed over there in West Point? You saw how bad it was with alien government. They had a bad publicity. They don't even know how to handle it. Something they thought that was by accident, and the young man died. Okay? These are kinds of stuff you want to avoid. Are we prepared? Folks. Whatever. But anyway, folks, I just thought that I'd show this as we celebrated the life of our brother. And but these are things that, like I said, I'm not disappointed. I'm frustrated because I did not see leadership from my president, and that's kind of a little bit frustrating to me because I think he has the ability, but I also think that perhaps this one, once again, somebody have not given him the proper advice. They did it with two money situation. They did it with the money with $16 billion issue. They did it with the mapping money issue. Every time these things happen, they did it with the electricity ship. They just come and give it information without even looking into it. Dr. We need someone around him as well who's going to put force to these people and say, no, hold it, let's discuss it. I'm not saying that your idea is bad, but let's discuss it. You can't just come into the president's office and say, Mr. President, this is the idea, and you expect the man to accept it. Let the man question you, and you give him the more details. Because without the details, at the end, it turned out to be wrong. Samson told LeBron Public Radio folks, it's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday afternoon. Please stay safe. Liberians. One thing I like about that, when you know what I can tell Nathaniel, okay, oh, when ratting we will smell. This is Samson Tola, proper folks. Let me get out of here. I want to thank you guys very much for turning on again this evening. We will continue to do the best we can. And once again, our ideas and whatever we talk about on the talk show does not mean it's the final and that you should accept it. We expect you most of the time to reject it. But in the process, give us an opportunity to explain ourselves. And if our explanation is not to your liking, you can reject it. It's your right. I don't expect you to accept everything that I say. But all I ask is give me the opportunity to be heard. And in the process, I will do my best to convince you. I cannot convince you with insult. That's not for me. That's not the thing that will do it. I must respect you for even taking your time to come and watch me. You don't have to. There's a lot of things in your life you could be doing right now. But to even take your time to watch me, I must be respectful and say thank you. And say I appreciate it. However, you also should understand that I have a right to be truthful of what I think is the truth. I'm not going to come here face you with a camera and come and put a wolf over your eye. First of all, you're too intelligent for me to do that. So I'm not stupid. Because if I do that, I will get caught very easily. So I don't intend to do that. However, whatever that I express here, these are my views. I must be allowed to express them. You don't have to agree with me, but to call me names in the process of disagreeing with me, then that's not the right thing to do. You can disagree with me, but you don't have to give me, defame my character because I'm saying something that you don't like. Then how do we have that conversation? Because if I was saying something you like and start praising me, then what happened to those who don't like what I'm saying? No, let's have an open mind. And that's the only way we can move forward. I'm not saying what I'm saying is correct. I'm not saying that you should accept it. It's what I believe. And I must be given the opportunity to believe that first of all. And I also must be given the opportunity to try to explain myself. You don't have to agree with me. But you must allow me to express myself. Anybody. It's not just me. If you don't do that, we will have a year for the grave because we don't want to listen to each other. My way or no way. Not in this modern days, my brother, my sister. You must be willing to cooperate. You must be willing to listen. You must be willing to disagree, but do so with respect. That's all we ask. Because if you want respect, you must give respect. It doesn't matter who it is. And that's the last word for Sam Central this evening. Folks, it's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday afternoon. Please stay safe, and we'll do the best to be back here. Mr. Soldier will be here this weekend, and he will give you some more information. There are a few people that were watching earlier from Liberia, Mark Down, We say thank you very much, brother. There was another gentleman that was watching from Indonesia, Asia, Patrick. We say thank you very much. Those of you that are watching from all over the world, we say thank you. We appreciate it. It's been a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Let's call it quit and see what we can do. Good night, folks.
Shablo yanta, the Saba boy, Saba yoga. Donc le même mondi, on va pas où elle loin. Le bocolo est si à bober, mais nous n'y voilà. Il y a fini le kéra, pour pas son compte à mon père. Nous que Shablo là so. Bonne joja, bonne comme là ouais. Il y a comment à sien loin. Le bonne joja sien, bonne comme là ouais. Elle se voler la trouva sous nous n'y voilà. Oni gba sun emono so ta mu be o ronwa dewa ara luki oni gba sun emono so ta mu be o kloklo ani abli esogo abaira onu kweju se aluwe na chawe se aluwe bo biewe na begbere klalu e se dre yan kon wo na mo boko we de mo wa ko isi agbole la tu wo sun anu ni wele ibo mo so wa ke no ko di fo awe mo na da fi o son we ye kamo bien do mo igbe o do wa jojo mama kom ne kom na we anu se gbole la tu wo sun anu ni wele mo jo se awe pa yan kon wa nu trouble de ya mo ni pote wa o lo yo tutu pote wa o onula yan duwe gbogbo we de mo o na se gbole la tu wo sun anu ni wele wala nyoma koma si mu e ma go ri man ju sura le ma yan we mo je de la yan ma o mo so na yo mo je dia ma yan ma e na mo wa uluwo mo je je ada yan ma na mo so na yo wala ju ru awa o ya lu ki pote wa o wala nyoma je go mu e lu ki pote wa o ata di pote wa o ara nyoma kwa we de mo ona te gbole la tu wa so we nu ni wele nígbà so en so go ta mu pe o to di ke fe ma de so wi gelo bebe kari le se asko du so awlo bande la fino ase idawe ma e de rodi yala steveri c'est de Côte d'Ivoire moi we Mama kowe danwe ona te gbole la tu wa so enu ni wele to tabi la di gba so en lo yan so ta mu pe o ya mo le pote wa o peri ju so pote wa o ni mo te bi e gba mu ni pe ya mu isogo iba idi mo kowe danwe o wa ko e nyamu o mo kowe danwe saru wa ko e nyamu o nje lo yan ju we ba ka Nigeria oda je nyon gbe mo no Nigeria oda we akmoye nyamu mombo kwa we danwa so we akmoye nyamu o
lo abel ke onon joseke wanu lo yon dei
eti su
Yesu et Sablo de fino de Kela le metan impo dei mo du e mo popo ya bi de Rosette ne
Boko we danwa o gan le nyamu o boko we danwa o gan le nyamu o Mamandei lucky on the Powenyo, on the Powenyo. I don't think you on the Powenyo, on the Powenyo. Oh, I don't yes, I'm a bear.
Like no Julien,
you don't know the on the Powenyo.
You might get them with bamboo.
Don't do good, never be happy. Don't do good, never be gone.
Massino de Massino.
Yes, I been there, you is the Powenyo.
Maman Thierry Florence, son Catherine.
On get a day, Jenny, and you're the Powenyo.
Angèle Founé Bleka.
Anu bagba di legio na popo ya bingo.
Inana Colette.
Ana we anyo. biga mwe mwe bo.
Ah, Maman Taylor.
Petit Juzo na be.